chapter 1, as we said, it begins with Dhritarashtra, this king, asking Sanjaya, his eyes and his ears, to describe what's taking place on the battlefield. Sanjaya tells the king that he sees his eldest son, Duryodhana, approaching his teacher, Drona, and is about to speak. Duryodhana, the oldest son of the Kauravas, who is on the side of, air quotes, evil, goes on to describe the warriors on both sides of the battlefield, and the conversation ends with Duryodhana telling everyone to protect Bhishma, who is this figure in the text who, when he dies in the story, marks the end of the war. So clearly, Duryodhana has a sense of what's going to happen. Then these conches sound and the war begins. And Arjuna asks Krishna, his charioteer and friend and uncle, to take him to the center of the battlefield to see who he's fighting. And Krishna puts him very strategically in front of the people that he actually cares about that are on the other side of the battlefield. His friends, his cousins, his teachers, his elders, etc. And then at that point, prior to that point, Arjuna is like, let me see the enemies. So at that point, he's like very clear about what's going on. But then when faced with people on the other side of the battlefield that he loves, that he cares about, Arjuna has like this huge change of heart. And instead of seeing enemies, people that he needs to fight, because the kingdom is rightfully his and his brothers, he instead sees people that he loves. And at that moment, Arjuna, his emotions go completely out of balance and he becomes despondent. Like he freezes, essentially. It says his body sinks, his mouth trembles, his hair stands on end. He drops his bow, so his prana is affected. He sees negative omens, so his mind starts kind of like going towards an unstable place, and he becomes completely lost in delusion. And this really echoes actually to the Yoga Sutras, because in the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali describes what happens when we are out of balance. And he says the exact same thing. In the first chapter of the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali describes this exact same thing, and the way in which the state of imbalance affects all aspects of our human system. If if this makes sense to you, but there's this concept called the Panchamaya model in the Indian tradition and in Ayurveda as well, I believe, that says that essentially as humans, we're more than just like a body. We're a body, we're our mind, we're our breath, we're our attitudes, we're our emotions, we're all of these things. And whatever is affecting us in life is affecting all of these things at the same time. So what's happening here to Arjuna is, and again, if these terms are too technical and don't make sense, Anandamaya is being influenced, Annamaya is being influenced, Manomaya is being influenced, Pranamaya is being influenced, Vijnanamaya is being influenced. All these different aspects of the human system of the Panchamaya is being influenced. That's just body, mind, breath, attitudes, and emotions.